Well, now to the segment you've all been waiting for after last weekend's shock defeat. Chris Scott, the coach of the Cats, he's got plenty to say this week.
I don't subscribe to the theory that there was a loss you needed to have, or it's like the recession you needed to have. It's not right, is it?
Defensive issues, is it more a midfield than a backline thing, or is it a bit of everything?
Oh, it's a combination of things. I'd love to give you more detail than I'm going to, Adam, but unfix for the whole world. We're across what we need to be better at. There are going to be some external observers who will make their observations, and we'll face up to those as well. I think we're a little bit more across those things than the people that only view it in passing. But the important thing is that we've addressed it. We're not shying away from it. We need to improve the way we've been playing, and we need to live in the present. We're certainly, no one at this football club's looking back and saying, haven't we done a great job, and won't that guarantee us success in the future?
So, but when you say you haven't been playing as well as you like for a while anyway, was the end of the game on the weekend just more of the same of what some of the things have been going on in previous games, or did it really stand out?
Well, yeah, it hasn't been as bad, but it really has been a combination of things. It's easy to look at the numbers and say we're a good attacking team, but we're only, at best mid-range defensively. The numbers require a bit more investigation, but there are things that we've been doing with the contested and attacking part of the game that aren't up to scratch. And the same defensively. I think it's just a little bit more acute and it's a little bit more obvious to the outsiders when you get scored against, and that's fair enough.
How do you score against Freo this week when no one else has been able to? What do you think about doing different?
Oh, well, we're a pretty good attacking team. I think we've got some options to score against teams that defend in a similar way to Freo. Freo do it better than everyone else, so it's going to be a huge challenge, but the game's not going to be about their defence versus our attack. So I could walk you through everything that we've got on our mind, but I'm not going to, sorry.
Do you plan to make any changes this week in reaction to last week?
No, not in reaction to last week. No, we've made a few changes in reaction to the form over the past 4 or 5 weeks. But we do have some viable options. Billy Smeds and Josh Caddy, Mitch Brown, Jed Buse played very well at VFL level, but we're still pretty confident with the 22 we put out there last week, and notwithstanding Steve Johnson's situation, we still think we've got the personnel available to do the job.
Trent West, will he come up this week?
Yeah, we hope so. He's got a little bit of a back issue, but Nathan Vardy's the same, so we'd like to think that they would both be available.
A lot of reports between the two teams over the years, both when you were at Freo and is it bad blood?
As you would know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the players. I don't think so. I have asked the question as well, but not that I know of. If there is our players aren't telling us about it. And no, do opposition players get annoyed by Hayden Ballantyne occasionally? Obviously, but I don't think that. Other than two teams towards the top part of the ladder going at each other this week, I don't think you need any more reason to approach the contest with some vigour.
Is that a question you asked them this week or after all the previous?
No, back over the because we can't stick our head in the sand. Matty Scarlett put one on Hayden's chin, and then Steve Johnson punched him in the guts. It's incumbent upon us to ask the question. Is there something we don't know about? No, I don't think. No, there's no lingering effects. I don't think anyone will be going out there thinking, we've got retribution to serve.
Do you remind them of that at all this week, or is it not?
We always remind our players of the need to be disciplined. Yep, so that'll be in the forefront of our mind. Big games against good opposition, you've got to get everything right. You've got to be disciplined, not give away silly free kicks, and goals are going to be hard to come by, so we don't want to do anything that's going to hurt our chances.
Are you pleased you're playing sort of a couple of the real top sides in the next couple of weeks?
I'd rather have walkovers for the next 10 weeks, to be honest, but I think the time's right to play our best footy, and against the best teams, if we win, we will know that we've played well.
Yeah, Jules.
I was going to say, you mentioned the inconsistencies before, you were sort of touching on that at times last year. You're confident you'll be able to rid yourself of those inconsistencies by the business end of the year?
Yeah, I'm supremely confident, but it's not a guarantee. I mean, we have to live in the moment and keep ticking these things off one by one. I'm optimistic that it's possible. I'm very optimistic that we'll put the work in, but I'm not going to guarantee you that we'll fix everything up. It would be folly to look too far ahead and say that, when the heat's really on, that we'll come to the party. No, we're concentrating on today and tomorrow. I know the Freo guys say exactly the same thing. Maybe that's part of the reason why they've been such a good team recently. They're not dwelling on what they have done or what they will do in the future, and to be honest, we're exactly the same. The fact that Geelong's had a bit more success over the last decade than Fremantle matters for nothing.
How much longer will the season go until you try and look for your best 25?
No, we're looking for it now, Adam. Yeah, we are. Well, I mean, we like to think that we have a big group of players capable of playing AFL footy, but we're not just rotating them for the sake of it. We're picking our best 22 every week based on a number of factors, and we've been quite open that one of those factors is the future. 2 weeks' time, 2 months, 2 years' time. But we'd never compromise the team to the extent where we play guys that just aren't up for it or haven't done the work. Earning a spot in Geelong's best 22 is something that takes some work. And we'll have some very good players playing in the VFL again this week that might argue that they deserve a spot, but they're going to have to work for it.
Is Rivers ready to play VFL yet?
No, not yet. I don't think he'll play this week, but he's close. So we've got a few that are on the cusp of playing some footy, but the plan has to be very fluid because we just don't know how they're going to go with contact and how their match fitness is going to be at VFL level. And once we can ascertain those things, then we'll make an informed decision.
So that's McIntosh, Varco.
Rivers, Cowan, Sheringham. Yeah, there are a number of those guys that, again, we think are capable of being in our best 22, but, even though Caddy's the same, those guys are coming. There's never been a guarantee that they would walk into our best 22, and Jared Rivers and Hamish McIntosh are behind the 8 ball now. They've got to do the work and prove to us that they are in that team, and that won't be easy.
Paul Chapman?
Well, Chappie's a little bit the same. I mean, everyone in the footy world, not just Geelong supporters, love the player that's Chappie's been, and we will do everything we can to get him in that sort of form by the end of the season. But he knows he's got to work for it. When he's fit and available, he's not going to walk into our AFL team, into our best 22. But if he's playing near his capability, then he will walk into the team.
Well, thanks for that, Chris, and good luck for the Cats tomorrow night against Freo. Looking forward to that one. As we take you back to the studio and Graham Rawlins.
Thank you, Nico. Well covered for Tigger, who is currently in Lithuania for the next 2 weeks. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong this Friday evening. Please join us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the Geelong and District Football League netball program with the lovely Donna, followed by the GDFL footy show led by Digital Dick and his big brown dog Neville, as well as the little insect grubby Cations, who, by the way, is a new speech tutor, Polly Warner Cracker. It is entertaining. For those on the punt this weekend, Uncle Jim takes us to Moonee Valley and tips us race 8, number 3, Shadowfax. And to one of our regular viewers, Vicky, at the Fruit Shack in High Street, Belmont. Take your time and smell the flowers, Vicky. As we wish you a safe and enjoyable week ahead, we take you out with a titillation of a new series being developed around the man of Geelong football, Mr. Don Matheson, OAM, speaking with Peter Murray. Thank you and a very good night.
When the GFL was starting up, so that'd be 79?
79 the first time, yeah.
There's the myth that's still in local football circles that you and Neville Whitley had the big falling out around that time.
Oh, well, that's what I just said. He accused me of putting East out. You see, and that was the only thing. I never got involved with him at all. If he'd appealed against that, if he'd appealed against the decision, he'd won the appeal. But he didn't appeal. It was his fault for that.
Mm.
But I had no part of the blame at all that I'm putting East back into the district league.
Yeah. And just following on from that, Was it the GFL that didn't buy into Buckley's, and they let the
No chance to buy into Buckley's.
so the GDFL?
They did it themselves. Well, in fact, they're still part of the whole setup. And if they all got together again and voted the way they should, the district league will always be in charge.
Mm.
And that's the only reason they won't charge. I think they're after their money. The only reason I could see what should happen there, the district league should say to them that if the clubs want to sell them shares, sell shares to the clubs that want to join,
Yeah.
and see how you go.
You reckon that'd work?
Well, if you're a shareholder, you could be far better than what just I remember now. All clubs, when we first, they had to vote to get the licence.
Yeah.
They had to get us all in. I stood against it for quite a while before they changed. And Tommy, and I went to Tommy Phillips, had a big say at the time. I said, we got no say. And he said, I can guarantee one take we get our 400,000 back, you'll have the say. But they wiped it.
Mm.
You see, so that was the point. They should have had a more say than what they've got, actually.